Hi there, and welcome to Five Wolves Comics. It's Tuesday night, November 2nd, and Tuesday night, you know what that means? It's movie night. So tonight we checked out Antlers. So I went with a group of friends, and I didn't really know what to expect because I didn't see any trailers or anything to it. This movie was kind of flew under the radar. But Antlers stars Carrie Russell, and she plays a teacher that moved from California to live with her brother. And her brother is Jesse Plemons, and he is the sheriff of this town, and also her little brother. And then Jeremy Thomas is the child. So those are the three protagonists, and you kind of float around between all three of them. You get to see a little bit of each of their lives, with mostly Carrie and Jeremy leading the way. You follow Jesse a little bit, but not as much. That Jeremy was amazing. His acting ability was first rate. He played depressing, sad, scared just so well. And I don't know, one of the best acting performances I've seen out of a child in a long time. Now, this is a Scott Cooper film. He's the director. He also did Crazy Heart and Black Mass. And the movie was an hour and 39 minutes, and it's based on a short story called The Quiet Boy. So this takes place in a fictional town in Oregon, but it's actually filmed in British Columbia, so it's really beautiful. And the film has kind of a depressing vibe to it. I mean, you hear about this small town that maybe at once was very promising, maybe once like had a thriving industry, but now a lot of the places have closed down. It's kind of the typical middle America where businesses have gone and left, and there's a lot of poverty and drug use. They refer to like methamphetamines a few times. And the school system it's just kind of a bleak outlook. And the movie follows that by having it be like dark and like ominous sort of the whole time. I mean, you never see the sun, so it's not a happy, joyous movie. It's a good horror movie type vibe and feel to it. And I won't get into spoilers, but it is about coming in contact with like a mythological creature from Native American lore, and so how it manifests itself in the story. And so you follow the lives of these three people. Now, Carrie and her brother came from a family of abuse and it was sexual abuse towards Carrie. You don't really find out what happened to the brother, but you can definitely tell that she had experienced abuse from her father. Her mother passed away when she was 12, and she had to deal with her father, who was seriously disturbed and abusive. Luckily, they don't go into too much detail about that. You don't see a lot of child abuse in it, but you get enough to get the sense of where she was coming from, which helped her be empathetic to Jeremy's character, the child, who you follow through most of the story. And he tells some of the story through pictures, which she finds out what's going on. And I'll leave it at that. It's a great movie. It was fun. There's some really good jump scares. It doesn't feel overly CG. The monster doesn't feel generic. It harkens back to some of the old horror movies where you don't see everything that goes on. I mean, you see enough, and you see more than you would in the classic, like Bram Stoker's type Dracula from the 40s and 50s, where they would just do a lot of scares, but you wouldn't see the villain much. You do see it a little bit more in this movie. And there is definitely some gore to it. But it looks really realistic. You could definitely tell that it had Guillermo del Toro's like fingerprints on it, even though he was not the director. He was one of the producers. So this one I give a 4 out of 5 stars. Some of the negatives, I guess I would say, is I kind of wish they went into more depth about the Native American lore and where this came from. The ending seems to kind of resolve itself sort of quick, but still believable at the same hand. And also, how do I describe it? Also, still, where you still have questions, like it resonates with you when you're finished with the film. Like you still kind of think about it and the story, and there's a lot of believability in it. They play it real. They don't play it cheesy or like a Friday the 13th type monster, which I love those shows, but they don't play it like that. So, yes, 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend it. Go see it in the theater. Some amazing times of fright. We all looked at each other and jumped out of our chairs a couple times. So, it's a good time to be had by all. I fully recommend this film. And I want you to I'm giving you a big high five, and be good to yourself and be good to other people. Take care.